Welcome to RiversEdge Today. I'm Marianne Fossey, and it's so good to have with us again this week Rebecca Strange. Welcome back, Rebecca.
I'm so glad to be here.
If you missed last week, I'm telling you, you need to go back and watch it. We had an incredible time talking about the Lord, about makeup, and about how Mary Kay, the business, has allowed you opportunities to share the gospel as women are sitting there with their makeup off in their homes. Because, God, that's what Jesus said. He said to go and to share the gospel. I know you have to have some more stories of how God's used you in some of your your skincare.
Stories. Some of them are great, and some of them are comedic now. But in the moment, we were like, "Oh my word!" But it's interesting to see how God brings people to you when they need Him, and they just need somebody to listen. And just like we said last week, being vulnerable when you're taking your makeup off and just being able to sit across the table. When we were at IHOP, one of the pastors said that more ministry happens across the table than any other pew or any other church. And I find that so true in this business because it's marketplace ministry, but you're generally in a home or you're in an intimate environment with somebody who is being vulnerable. They're taking their makeup off, and most people don't want to take their makeup off in front of anybody.
That's right.
And it creates people at their most vulnerable place, barefaced, and it's neat to be able for them to trust me enough to do that, but then also for them to want to share, their hearts and want to share their hurts and want to share their situations. And I mean, I can sit here and think of hundreds of stories of people that I've facialed. I know that God put a lady in my life without a shadow of a doubt. We joke about it all the time that God brought she and I together. She said that she wanted to rejoin Mary Kay. She'd been in Mary Kay like 5 times, and it never worked. And she said it was because I wasn't with the right person. And she went on a journey during, it was around the time of the last election, trying to figure out who she wanted to rejoin Mary Kay with. And she made a list of all the directors in the area, and then Facebooked it. She stalked it for a little bit. And I'll never forget, she told me, she goes, "I saw your picture on Facebook and your eyes drew me to you." And I was like, she goes, "I saw a picture of you and your voice, and it was something about your eyes." And I was like, "Well, it was the Lord." And she used to be a bartender in Nashville, and I joke with her all the time. I'm like, "You cussed like a sailor when I first met you." And she was a hairdresser here in town, and she just wanted a side hustle. She was needing a little extra money. And the Lord brought her, like literally drew her to Mary Kay. Wow. He wanted her. Yeah. And she became a consultant. She and I met, we became friends. And then after a few months, she had gone on some trips with me, had traveled with us, and she kind of learned my heart. And she calls it my MO. She's like, "We start asking questions, and I know you're getting something." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness," but the Lord would start ministering, and she saw me minister to some other people. One night we had a meeting, and a lady stayed afterwards, and I'll never forget. I think I totally freaked her out, but the lady that stayed was just so hurt. She was wanting to kill herself, and she just sat down, and the Lord just downloaded something to me that she had held for years. Wow. That even she had shared, the only person she shared with was her mom, and her mom didn't believe her. And the Lord immediately told me, "This has happened to you." And she just burst. And it was just me and my offspring in the room, and my offspring's just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And this lady, we just started ministering to her. And it was beautiful because she told me, she goes, "Nobody has ever believed that actually happened to me." And I said, "But God knew it happened." minister to her. And through all of that, I've watched this other lady just come into the Lord. She actually got saved on a beach retreat when we were in Panama City. And we always jokingly say people get saved at the beach because we love to do baptism. But we have like baptized so many people at the beach or at the pool when we go on these beach retreats. And we normally we call them prayer walks or power encounters on the beach on Saturday mornings, and they usually pair us up. And those are incredible times because you're with somebody and you're just walking and you're praying, and sometimes they don't know Jesus, or they don't really, if they've had an encounter with him, they don't really know him.
Yeah.
And so you can share more. And I've seen people get healed, delivered, set free on all those beach trip walks and times. And so it's neat to see God can move outside of four walls of a church.
Yeah.
And he does the same things that he can do at the altar, at the beach, or in a meeting, or wherever.
Well, and you don't have to be in full-time ministry to share with the lost. Because a lot of times, to be honest, if they know you're a pastor or an evangelist, they're going to run the other way. But if they know that you really care and you want to spend time with them and you will listen to them, I mean, okay, there's a lot of women that to take off their makeup, I mean, some of them, that's their cover. That's they hide, that's their protection. They hide behind it. And they're putting all their guard down. And what an opportunity. You've had many, many opportunities to share the gospel through your business. And I know there's probably people watching that are maybe Mary Kay consultants, maybe in other business venues. Can you encourage them to share the Lord as they work?
Absolutely. I believe it's marketplace ministry, and I believe that we can take the gospel wherever we go. Mary Kay herself said that it's about P&L, and it's not profit and loss, but it's people and love. So when you love people, it's just going to be the overflow of your heart, and God's just going to share and move, and people's lives are going to be changed as a result of it.
That's right. That's right. Gosh, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff, I'm telling you. Wow. You know, I think about just my experience with Mary Kay, and just in the meetings themselves, the ones I've experienced, there's always been an attitude of prayer, a worship, praise, and you hear these testimonies, and the women will say, God first, you know, and you can minister in such a mighty way, and you have no idea. You have no idea the tool you have in makeup to go and reach people that are hurting and broken.
That's so true. It's there's been numerous occasions that I've been able to speak at conferences or retreats or different things that we've gone on, and actually get the privilege of leading a prayer call. And the national area does something that's opened up to a couple of national areas, and we actually have at 8 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, a prayer call.
Wow.
And people can call in, and I lead on Wednesdays with a friend of mine from Tallahassee who actually came to know the Lord through Mary Kay.
Great.
You know, our really good friend. She got spirit-filled on a retreat with me, and
That's awesome.
joke about that God had so radically changed her life, and she and I get the privilege of leading on Wednesday morning. But it's neat when you share, because, you know, we say testimonies, you know, a testimony means do it again, Lord.
Yeah.
And it's not just a testimony of healing that we want him to do again. We want him to work miracles, we want him to work signs and wonders, but we want him to give us a sale, we want him to send us a recruit, we want him to, you know, sell that product that's on our shelf. And they're testimonies too in themselves, especially if you're in business. You might need money, you might need a bill paid, you might need whatever. And those are testimonies. And so just sharing the goodness of, you know, the power of the testimony with people has been amazing, because it's encouragement. And it's like, oh, God even cares about this little minute detail of my business or my goal or my personal life that most people wouldn't even understand, that he does, and he does care. And so it's so cool.
That's amazing. Well, we're out of time again. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Thank you again, Rebecca, and thank you for watching. Go back and watch last week. We'll see you next time on Rivers Edge Today. God bless you.